In a quiet Indiana suburb on a crisp October morning in 2017, 31-year-old schoolteacher Rachel Adams didn't show up for work. That alone wasn't like her, but what truly concerned her coworkers was the note she left behind. Rachel had called in sick the day before. No one had seen her since. Her car was still in the driveway. Her front door was locked, and her cell phone left charging beside her bed. Her sister Melissa arrived by 9:17 a.m. Rachel never missed a call. Never. Something was wrong. The front door was locked, but a basement window was ajar, slightly off the frame. Melissa called 911. Unit 23, respond to 17 Waverly Street for a possible missing person, 10-4, en route. Inside, officers noted the house was undisturbed. A cup of tea half full, an open journal, her cat pacing nervously. But it was what they found in the upstairs bathroom that turned everything on its head. A bloodstain, small but distinct, on the underside of the sink, and tucked inside the cabinet, a flash drive. Rachel's flash drive. What was on it would blow the case wide open. As investigators canvassed the neighborhood, they found a potential witness. Linda Harper, Rachel's next-door neighbor. Detective, can you state your name for the record? Neighbor, yes, I'm Linda Harper. I live next door to Rachel. Detective, did you see or hear anything unusual the night Rachel disappeared? Linda, I heard voices, Rachel's and a man's. It was around midnight. I looked out, but it was too dark. I saw a shadow by her car. Then, silence. Detective, did you recognize the man? Linda, no, but he was tall, wearing a hooded jacket. I thought it was odd, but I didn't want to get involved. Linda's voice trembles with regret. Linda, I wish I had called someone. The details from Linda's statement paint a chilling picture. Rachel wasn't alone that night. The identity of the hooded figure remains a mystery, but one thing is clear. Someone was watching. Melissa, did Rachel ever mention anyone following her? No. Well, there was someone she had issues with. A man named David Keller. He was her ex. David Keller, 36, a tech consultant with no prior record. They had dated briefly 2 years prior. It ended quietly, or so everyone thought. But when detectives pulled David's name into the system, one red flag appeared. A sealed harassment complaint. Filed by Rachel, then quickly withdrawn. The flash drive changed everything. Rachel had recorded herself. If something happens to me, look at David Keller. He won't leave me alone. He waits outside my house. He sends fake emails from accounts I've blocked. I didn't want to believe he'd hurt me. But now I'm scared. Police transcript. Officer, this is Officer Daniels, badge 214, time 10:42 p.m. We're reviewing security footage from the street. 2 figures approach Rachel's house. One appears to force entry through the basement window. The second stands watch. Both leave at 1:13 a.m. Officer, we have no clear facial ID. The second figure limps, possibly an old injury. Detective cross-referenced local hospital records for recent leg injuries. 3 days later, Rachel's body was found. She was buried in a shallow grave just outside Monroe County, wrapped in a bedsheet. There were 2 rings in her pocket, her grandmother's wedding bands. The cause of death was asphyxiation. Duct tape residue was found on her mouth and wrists. There was dirt under her fingernails. She had fought. Detective Riley asked, David, where were you the night of October 15th? David Keller replied, at home, alone, watching TV. Why? Detective Riley pressed on. Rachel's flash drive says otherwise. David's demeanor shifted, from calm to defensive, but not once did he ask how Rachel died. Unsettling evidence. Detective, we received an anonymous tip. A burner phone was found in a storm drain 2 blocks from Rachel's house. Forensics. The phone contained a single message. You're next. Detective, the prints on the phone don't match David Keller. There's a partial print, female, unknown. The case grows colder, but the threats continue. Detectives obtained a warrant for David's home. In his garage freezer they found duct tape, the same brand used on Rachel. The fibers matched. But what's even more chilling? His search history, how to erase metadata, how long does it take to suffocate someone? Can deleted files be recovered from a USB? His laptop contained hundreds of deleted messages. All just drafts. All unsent. All to Rachel. Why did you stop loving me? I see you. Every day. You won't ignore me forever. Voiceover, shocking twist. Months later a new video surfaces online. It shows Rachel alive after the night she vanished, time-stamped a day after her supposed death. The footage is grainy, her face bruised, whispering, he's not the only one. Police scrambled to authenticate the video. Was Rachel's death staged? Or is someone still out there manipulating the truth? The case remains open, the whispers louder than ever. Rachel's video testimony, the voice of a victim who foresaw her own murder, was admitted as evidence in court. Legal experts called it unprecedented. It was the first case in Indiana where a victim's own posthumous statement helped secure a conviction. In court, David showed no emotion. He was sentenced to life without parole. But there was one detail, one that still troubles detectives to this day. When forensics analyzed Rachel's flash drive, they discovered something unusual. A second video, deleted, but partially recovered. The audio was damaged. Only 7 words were clear. He wasn't alone. Someone helped him. Watch. To this day, police believe a second person may have been involved, but no arrest has ever been made, and whoever they were has vanished without a trace. Rachel got the last word, and it put her killer away, but the mystery is far from over. This is Vanished Whispers, True Crime, where silence speaks, and whispers never truly vanish. Just when we thought we had all the answers, a new witness steps forward. Softly. Meet Emily Harper, a local bartender who worked the night Rachel Adams disappeared. Emily has been reluctant to come forward, but her conscience finally got the better of her. She recalls seeing Rachel that night, but not alone. Emily Harper, voiceover of her statement. Rachel came into the bar around 10 p.m. She seemed on edge, kept looking over her shoulder. Then, a man joined her at the bar. They had a heated conversation. I couldn't hear everything, but I caught a name, Jonathan. This new detail adds another layer to the mystery. Who is Jonathan, and what was his connection to Rachel Adams? Emily also mentioned something else, a piece of evidence that had been overlooked. Emily Harper, voiceover of her statement. As Rachel left, she dropped a piece of paper. I picked it up, but it was just a grocery list. Or so I thought. Now I wonder if it had some hidden meaning. This new witness statement raises more questions than answers. Was Jonathan involved in Rachel's disappearance? What was the significance of that grocery list? The investigation takes another turn and the whispers of the past grow louder. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the mystery. This is Vanished Whispers, True Crime, where silence speaks, and whispers never truly vanish. Voiceover. As the investigation intensifies, detectives bring both Jonathan and a second suspect, Mark, into separate interrogation rooms. What unfolds next is a dramatic police transcript that lays bare the mounting tension and the web of conflicting stories. Detective, firm. Jonathan, you were seen with Rachel Adams the night she disappeared. Why didn't you mention this earlier? Jonathan, nervous. I didn't think it mattered. We argued, but then she left. I swear I never saw her again. Detective, pressing. Emily Harper heard you say something about the list. What did that mean? Jonathan, defensive. It was just a joke. Rachel was always making lists. I didn't think. Cut to Mark's transcript. Detective, calm. Mark, Jonathan says he left alone, but your phone places you near the bar at 10:30 p.m. Care to explain? Mark, hesitant. Rachel called me. She was upset. She wanted to meet, but I never saw her. I just drove by. Detective, raising voice. Then why did witnesses see you arguing outside the bar? Mark, cornered. That wasn't me. Maybe it was someone else. I don't know. Voiceover. As the transcripts reveal, neither suspect's story lines up. Jonathan insists he left Rachel at the bar. Mark claims he never met her, yet evidence places him at the scene. The detective's frustration is palpable. Each answer only deepens the mystery. Was someone lying to protect themselves? Or someone else? And what was really on that so-called grocery list? The tangled web of testimonies leaves investigators and viewers wondering who is hiding the truth and how far will they go to keep it buried. Stay with us as we peel back the next layer of Vanished Whispers, True Crime, where every answer breeds a new question. Voiceover. Just when investigators think they've hit a dead end, a new piece of evidence surfaces. One that no one saw coming. At 2:13 a.m., mere hours after Rachel's disappearance, a call was placed from her phone to an unknown number. The call lasted less than a minute. Detectives traced the number to a prepaid burner phone, registered under a false name. But it's the voicemail left behind that sends chills through the team. Subtle static, muffled sobbing. I'm scared. If something happens to me, check the blue notebook. The voice is unmistakably Rachel's. Her fear palpable, her words cryptic. Investigators race to Rachel's apartment, searching for the blue notebook. Hidden beneath a loose floorboard, they find it. A diary filled with anxious entries, suspicions about being followed, and a final page with a single haunting sentence. Trust no one, not even them. The discovery rocks the investigation. Who was Rachel afraid of? What did she know that put her in danger? And who was on the other end of that midnight call? Voiceover. With this chilling new evidence, the focus of the case shifts. Loyalties are questioned, alibis unravel, and a new wave of suspicion falls across everyone involved. The truth seems closer than ever, yet more elusive than before. Stay tuned as Vanished Whispers edges closer to revealing the secrets buried in the shadows. Voiceover. Just as detectives begin to piece together clues from Rachel's blue notebook, an unexpected fingerprint is found on the cover, belonging to Detective Mark Ellison, the lead investigator on the case. The team reels in disbelief. Mark has been at the forefront of the investigation, a figure of unwavering dedication and empathy. Now suspicion casts a long shadow over him. The Internal Affairs Unit is called in. As they retrace Mark's steps, a troubling pattern emerges. Security logs show him entering evidence storage late at night, and phone records reveal a series of calls between Mark and the owner of the burner phone traced from Rachel's midnight call. Confronted with mounting evidence, Mark's composure cracks. He admits to knowing Rachel outside of the investigation but insists he was trying to protect her from someone inside the department. His confession stuns the team. Rachel had confided in him about threats she received, and the blue notebook was meant as a last resort if she disappeared. But now, with Mark's involvement exposed, the entire investigation is thrown into chaos. Was he a protector, or something far more sinister? As trust erodes and alliances shift, the hunt for Rachel's true enemy grows more desperate than ever. The case has reached a breaking point and nothing will ever be the same. Voiceover. As the dust settles from Mark Ellison's shocking admission, the department is plunged into turmoil, but the team's focus sharpens when a cryptic message appears on Rachel's old social media account. A post scheduled to go live if she ever went missing. The message names Detective Linda Hayes, warning that the real danger wears a badge. With this new evidence, the team orchestrates a covert sting operation to catch Linda in the act. Tensions run high as Mark, desperate to prove his innocence, volunteers to confront Linda alone while the team listens in from a surveillance van nearby. In a dimly lit parking garage, Mark faces Linda, his former partner and confidant. The air crackles with unspoken betrayal. Linda tries to sway Mark, appealing to their shared history, but her cold demeanor betrays her guilt. Mark, voice trembling, demands the truth about Rachel. Linda's mask slips. She confesses to orchestrating the threats, manipulating evidence, and using her position to silence Rachel. She reveals the depth of the conspiracy, implicating others in the department, and boasts that no one will believe Mark's word over hers. Suddenly, the team bursts in, catching Linda off guard. She's arrested, her web of lies finally unraveled. Mark collapses, overwhelmed by the weight of betrayal and relief. The confrontation marks a turning point, not just in the case but for every officer present, forcing them to reckon with the corruption in their midst and the cost of their own silence. As Linda is led away in handcuffs, the camera lingers on Mark's haunted expression. Justice is within reach, but the scars of this night will linger long after the case is closed. Voiceover. In the aftermath of Mark Ellison's confession, the investigation enters its final critical hours. Forensic teams pore over Rachel's blue notebook, decoding her meticulous notes. Hidden between the pages, they discover a list of names, officers she suspected were involved in the threats. Cross-referencing this with Mark's late-night visits and the burner phone logs, the team uncovers a clandestine network operating within the department, led not by Mark, but by his longtime partner, Detective Linda Hayes. As the truth comes to light, Linda is arrested in a tense, silent standoff. Mark, shattered but vindicated, is cleared of wrongdoing, though his career and reputation are forever changed. The department faces a reckoning, with sweeping reforms promised in the wake of the scandal. Rachel's family, though grieving, finally receives closure. In a quiet memorial, Mark delivers the blue notebook to Rachel's parents, a symbol of her courage and the hope that her story will protect others. The team gathers one last time, united not by victory but by the bonds forged through hardship and loss. As dawn breaks over the city, the camera lingers on Rachel's favorite park bench, her memory honored, her voice no longer silenced. The case is closed, but the lessons remain. Truth endures even in the darkest of nights, and justice, though delayed, can still prevail. Voiceover. In the weeks following the revelations, the city moves forward, forever marked by Rachel's story. Mark Ellison, now a free man, stands before an empty desk, the echoes of his past life lingering in the quiet room. He pens a letter to Rachel's parents, expressing gratitude for their forgiveness and vowing to honor Rachel's memory by mentoring new recruits, teaching them integrity above all else. Detective Linda Hayes faces trial, her once imposing presence diminished as she confronts the reality of her actions. Former colleagues testify, their voices trembling with a mix of anger and sorrow. The department begins to rebuild, implementing strict oversight and anonymous reporting systems. Rachel's blue notebook now a symbol of accountability. Rachel's family hosts a community vigil at her favorite park bench. Mark attends, standing at the edge of the gathering, eyes shining with unshed tears. As candles flicker in the twilight, neighbors, officers, and friends share stories of Rachel's kindness and determination. The pain of loss lingers, but in its place, a sense of hope quietly grows. Loose ends are finally tied. The network within the department is dismantled, and those complicit are brought to justice. Rachel's investigative work inspires a citywide campaign for whistleblower protection. Her notebook, displayed in the local library, becomes a beacon for future generations. As the camera pans over the peaceful park, Mark sits on the bench, a single flower in hand. The sun rises, bathing the city in gentle light. In this moment, the scars of the past begin to heal, and the promise of a better future takes root. Rachel's voice, though gone, continues to guide them all, reminding the world that courage and truth can never truly be silenced. Voiceover. As the dust settles on Rachel Adams's story, we are left with more than just headlines and courtroom verdicts. We are left with the enduring legacy of a woman who refused to let truth be buried. Her disappearance shook a community, but her courage brought light to the darkest corners of an institution meant to protect. Through betrayals and heartbreak, through moments of despair and flashes of hope, Rachel's unwavering commitment to integrity became a catalyst for change. Mark Ellison's journey from suspicion to redemption reminds us that justice is not just about punishment, but about seeking truth, even when the path is painful. Detective Hayes' downfall serves as a cautionary tale. Power without accountability can lead even the most trusted astray. The city's transformation, sparked by Rachel's blue notebook, stands as proof that one voice, no matter how small, can inspire a movement. As we close this chapter, let us remember the lessons learned, the importance of standing up for what's right, the necessity of transparency, and the healing that comes from community. Rachel's story is not just about loss, but about resilience and hope. In honoring her memory, we are reminded that courage is contagious, and that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is speak the truth. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May Rachel's legacy inspire us all to seek justice, offer forgiveness, and build a future where integrity prevails.